People often mistake kindness for weakness, especially when they see someone being mistreated or disrespected, and they just walk away. Some feel like they deserve it because they allow it. But did you ever stop and think that maybe the harshest treatment they endure comes from within? Like I said many times before, I've experienced a lot of trauma and tragedy, much of which I had no control over, but some very much my own doing. One of the toughest challenges I've ever experienced in life was surviving a toxic relationship. After my 24-year marriage had ended, I was emotionally distraught. Not so much because the marriage had ended, as I did everything I knew to do at the time to save it. More so was the effect that it was having on our children. But staying in a failed marriage for the sake of children was damaging us all. During this time, I confided in someone at work about what I was going through. She too had been through a lot of trauma, and we started sharing each other's pain. And through trauma bonding, formed a friendship. Although we were strongly attracted to each other, initially we weren't intimate. I made it clear that I wasn't emotionally ready to be in a relationship. She said she understood and had deep respect for me because of it. We started spending a lot of time together. Lunch at work, after work, during work. I was enjoying the attention, even though I thought it was a bit much. And eventually we became intimate. And she showered me with affection, matched my sexual energy. And I ain't gonna lie, I was focused on that lust because I had been in a dry spell for a minute. But then it got to where every moment that we weren't together, she was texting or calling, wanting to know where I was at, who I was with, and wanting to get together. I started to notice that each time I wanted to spend time with family and friends, she would start an argument or experience some type of crisis. And at first, I didn't react, thinking it was just insecurities. But over time, it got progressively worse. Now, I knew she had a mean streak and a dark side, and she knew that of me as well. But I had no idea the extent I was about to experience it. It had gotten so bad that it became verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive. And if I didn't react or reciprocate, it escalated. And when it got to the point where it was intolerable, I'd fire back. And then it amplified and justified the lack of accountability. And this vicious, toxic cycle would continue. Why did I stay, you ask? Yeah, me too. But it was gradual. It took me a minute to piece together the love bombing, the gaslighting, the time management, the isolation of family and friends, to realize this was classic narcissistic behavior. And even after I was aware, I had been through a lot. I was strong and considered myself able to withstand almost anything. So this type of behavior wasn't new or scary to me. I also struggled with abandonment issues and was loyal to a fault. I couldn't be that guy either, and she knew it. Everybody who knew her prior to me was surprised I had lasted as long as I did. And everybody who knew me assumed that she was the reason for the failed marriage. They abandoned me, thought I was crazy, and said, he deserves everything he gets. But to me, she really needed help. For so many years, I needed someone I could rely on to help me through the darkness. And I thought I was strong enough to be that one, as if saving her would save me. I was delusional. There were many factors as to why I stayed, which is a much longer, more drawn-out story within itself. But after several horrific breakups and return performances, it was clear to me I was targeted and merely a small part of a bigger plan. But for a while, it left me confused, abused, burdened, and broken. But it wasn't her, nor the toxicity that broke me. In fact, in some ways, I'm grateful, because it unlocked power and strength I wasn't even aware that I possessed. It was what I put the people I love the most through, the people that truly love me, that put me on a pedestal and watched as I plummeted to hell. They didn't deserve that pain, and I broke their heart. And that's what broke me. So when I hear someone say, I'm so brave, or strong, I have no fear, well, they're wrong. I hope to never again be the one that causes pain or breaks the heart of someone that truly loves me. Nothing anyone can ever do to me can surmount to the torture I put myself through because of it. And even if I paid 10 times over, I know karma has a permanent place of residence with me, because I can't erase the pain I caused them, and that will always remain with me. I'm a warrior with a long, sharp sword. I have no problem doing what needs to be done. It takes a lot of discipline and strength to walk away. And if I do, consider it an act of kindness. And I'll walk across that bridge dripping lighter fluid, striking matches. There's an old Chinese saying that says, for a warrior's ultimate act is to lay down his sword.